Episode 7 of Starfleet Academy is called Kozane. It follows a traumatic near-death mission, a rising season villain and Federation under pressure, with a holiday break episode about weddings, feelings and self-discovery. We went from derelict ships and survivor horror to Colonian pre-wedding ritual and door room bonding. This isn't tonal whiplash, this is narrative collapse. The episode opens a month after Miyazaki incidents. These cadets nearly died, they faced a real threat. This should be a point where discipline tightens, protocols are reviewed, command decisions are scrutinized, consequences are addressed. Instead, they go on a 4-day holiday break because nothing says post-trauma military academy like winter vacation vibes. Starfleet Academy, the elite training ground of the Federation, is apparently running like a boarding school, not a command institution, a boarding school. Caleb chooses to stay behind, Genesis stays behind. Fine, good opportunity for introspection, right? No, instead they break into the Bridge of Athena. They literally break into Starship Bridge, unauthorized access, security breach, command deck intrusion. And what is this framed as? Rebellion? A serious breach? A grounds for expulsion? No, it's bounding. It's finding themselves. Genesis admits she was gaming the system to get a hand in the command track, and her punishment, she loses a track opportunity. That's it, not removal, not suspension, not review. This is a Starfleet and people who command fleets, and consequences are indistinguishable from detention. The show cannot write institutional seriousness. Everything is personal, nothing is structural. Now let's talk about centerpiece. Jaden is dragged into Keonian pre-wedding ritual. He becomes Kozane, ceremonial best man equivalent. It becomes a cultural episode about identity and expectation, which would be fine if the show respected the culture it's portraying. Instead, we get more insecurity, more I've changed, more cultural values framed as oppressive expectations, and fiancés who cancel a marriage because the groom isn't who she thought he was anymore. She heard only good things about him and she was like, nah, I'm not marrying that one. There is no philosophical depth here, there is no real clash of values, there is just tradition pressures you, be your authentic self instead. Every single cultural arc in this show resolves the same way, not through negotiation of ideals, not through moral debate, but through rejection of tradition. Star Trek used alien cultures to explore differences. This show uses alien cultures as obstacles to overcome, as there is something wrong with them. That's not diversity, that's flattening. At what point in this episode do we feel like we're watching the future leaders of the Federations? We don't. We're watching romantic hesitation, personal insecurity, wedding tension, track placement drama, emotional confession videos. This is not Starfleet Academy, this is young adults in space. Starfleet officers are supposed to withstand pressure, operate under stress, embody Federation ideals. These cadets operate like a social media interns. There is no sense that these people will command ships. There is no sense of intellectual rigor. There is no sense of elite standards, just vibes. Let's step back. Episode 4 was a debate therapy. Episode 5 was a DS9 nostalgia. Episode 6 was a horror light. Episode 7 is a wedding drama. What is this show? Is it coming of the age series? A military academy drama? A political thriller? A nostalgia tribute? A CW romance? It is all of them, which means it is none of them. Classic Trek had a core, exploration of morality under pressure. This show has no core. It reacts episode to episode like it's checking genre box. And episode 7 exposes that more than any other episode, because once you remove danger, there is nothing left. Modern Trek keeps confusing emotional expression with character growth. Caleb sends a heartfelt message. Genesis admits insecurity. Jaden redefines himself, and the episode wants applause. But growth required tension between ideals. Where are the the ideals? Where is the Federation philosophy? Where is the Prime Directive? Where is the command ethics? Where is sacrifice? Instead, every arc resolves with be true to yourself. Star Trek used to ask, what should humanity become? Starfleet Academy asks, how do you feel right now? That's not evolution, that's a regression. Episode 7 is not offensively bad, it's worse. It's small. Small in ambition, small in stakes, small in philosophy. It takes a universe built on ground ideas and reduces it to interpersonal therapy session. This is a franchise that once debated genocide and sentient rights. Now it debates wedding expectation and dorm friendship. Final verdict, Cosane doesn't expand Star Trek, it shrinks it. And if this is what Starfleet Academy thinks leadership looks like, the Federation is in serious trouble. Now it's time for some honorable mentions. Thank you for 69 subscribers. Perverts. He can travel warm speed, hits glass and nothing happens. She is supposed to leading a military and cannot pack a suit. Why are you still having books? Anybody can create this and the whole ship is fucked. After his friend died, his idea is to go to Ibiza. And seriously, she heard only great things about him and she was like, you're not who I thought you were.
I really enjoy when people have expectations and we completely just shatter it.